Joined by Will Desjardins of the Medicine Hat Tigers. Coach, hey, let's jump right into it. The start of a new season in Medicine Hat. Tell me a little bit about kind of what it's been like to have the guys back in town and raring to go here for another winter.
It's always exciting. You never know what's going to happen over the summer. You always hope guys are training hard, working hard. But it's always one thing about your group, but you also know the groups around you have gotten better too. So you can't just take a little step. You got to take a big step if you're going to be successful.
I want to ask you about momentum. You look at the second half of last season, the Tigers made a real push for the playoffs, and we remember that Saturday night, last game of the regular season, excitement to qualify. For the guys that are back from last year, Will, just tell me a little bit maybe about how that experience might have perhaps even made them hungrier here as they get set to start a new year.
Yeah, we hope it's made them hungrier. It was exciting for us. It was nice to make the playoffs. It was a goal. Guys worked hard for it. But it was that close. It was hard to close it out because the teams around us were good teams. And you just have to always know that. The games are just as important, in October as they are at the end of the year in March. So you have to make sure you get points all the time. But it was a good stretch run for us. I talked earlier in the year that we wouldn't really know what we had until February. And it was exciting to see the guys play that hard.
Gavin McKenna, 16-year-old season approaching here. And I know we got a bit of a look at what he's all about last year, right? And in call-ups and into the playoffs. But having been around him and being around him kind of every day, just tell me about the player and just kind of what makes him tick and how big a part of your group he could potentially be here.
Yeah, it's always hard to put expectations on guys. I never like doing that. It's unfair when you come out with expectations. But he surprised me last year, late in the year. He came in, I just didn't think he could be that good. And he was that good. Saying that he's an exceptional athlete. He sees the ice very, very well. He takes care of himself. He wants to be a player. So he has all the good things that you want to see from a young man. And he has a drive to be successful. I think it'll be a challenge for him this year. There's guys, last year is unknown. This year, guys will be keying on him a little bit more. So I think he's going to have a challenge to come in and pick it out. But I expected him to have a challenge last year when he came in and played Lake Forest too. And he was unbelievable. So we'll kind of see where it goes. But he's a great young man and he's an unbelievable hockey player.
Hayden Lindstrom, as a 16-year-old, put up, pretty decent numbers for your group a season ago, and obviously was part of the Hlinka Gretzky team this summer over in the Czech Republic. Is that the kind of event, Will, that can maybe kind of kickstart a guy's season? And if so, I mean, how much stronger, faster is Caden this year, and how excited are you to see kind of where he goes?
Yeah, for sure. I think it can. I think it was exciting to make it. We had Thomas Mercick too. I thought had a really good chance. Both those guys are elite young players. For Caden, he got the opportunity and he made the most of it. He came in, he started on the fourth line. He worked his way through, and he's just a physical presence. And he makes plays. He's interesting because he makes some high end plays at speed. Got a good shot, but and really wants to be a player. You talk to him, it's all about his family. It's about doing things for his mom and things like that. So it's pretty neat when you talk to a young man that's his goal and his focus, and he's working hard to achieve it.
Tell me a little bit about your leadership group and some of the guys that you're going to be counting on to be leaders of this group. And we hear a lot about kind of the youth and just the new era of Tigers hockey, but there's some guys in your room that have been there for 2, 3, 4 years now that are going to kind of step in as leaders. You'd like to think for your team this year, and what are you looking to get out of some of your vets as they kind of progress into the latter stage of their WHL careers?
Yeah, you win with your leaders. Those are the guys that'll dictate where you're going to go and how you're going to do it and the standards they set. but we have some guys, like you said, that are excellent. You know, Drew Krebs has been with us for a long time. Brett Parsons has been there. You know, Tyler McKenzie's been around. Oasis Wiseblood. We have lots of guys that have been around for a while. Owen McNeil. So we have some guys that have been involved with us for a while that know our culture and what we expect. And hopefully, I'll lay out the groundwork for the young guys coming in on where they want to go. You know, we lost guys last year. Moline was an unbelievable leader for us. So, you know, you got to have some guys you got to replace. And, you know, lucky for us, we have some good people to replace.
Remember last year chatting with you about just team speed and how fast the game is now. And, you know, one of the things that stuck out that you pointed out to me was just, you know, the mental aspect of thinking the game as well as playing it physically. You know, would you kind of attest that that's part of your culture is, you know, learning to be strong mentally on the ice as well as, you know, being physical, being fast?
Mental part of the game is always huge. There's so many ways that, you know, other teams being physical can deter guys. The grind of the season can deter guys. You know, what's happening in their game. Maybe they're going through a spot where they can't score. So there's so many things that can happen mentally that, you know, can pose a problem for them. So for sure, you have to be able to overcome that. You have to have your focus. You have to know long-term, and you have to believe in yourself. Like, one of the biggest things is confidence and self-belief. And all these young men have worked hard and put in their time, and they should be confident to the level they've got. And, you know, hopefully they can show that on the ice.